Hi, this course contains audio. If you can hear my voice clearly, click the Start button. This course will cover all the safety and environmental requirements you need to know while working on a Boral site. Think of it as duty of care for yourself and others. We want you to feel confident whenever you step onto any of our sites. This induction course is interactive. When you see the hand icon in the bottom left of the screen, it's telling you there's interactive elements to explore. Use the previous and next buttons to navigate back and forth between screens. If the button is not visible or it's not working, you've missed something and will need to explore some more. In addition to this online course, you'll be required to complete a site-specific induction before starting work on that site. If you don't understand any part of your requirements and responsibilities within this induction, please speak to your Boral site supervisor. Remember, bring your licenses and qualifications with you on your first day. No license, no work. Site-wide communications and notices are a useful way to keep health and safety at the forefront for all workers. We use communication and notices to make you aware of daily risks and hazards. Daily safety briefings by supervisors to workers help foster a good health and safety culture. Here at Boral, we use UHF radio as our main communication tool across all our sites. Mobile phone devices are only permitted in specific areas. Discuss with your Boral site supervisor when you get there. Looking after your own health and safety at work can help to reduce the risk of work-related illness and injury. You are responsible to make sure you come to work in a fit and healthy state each day. You will need to be well rested and not under the influence of alcohol or other drugs. We strongly believe in zero harm today and want you to leave our sites in the same healthy state that you arrived in. Did you know 1 in 3 Australian workers are injured through manual handling? Knowing how to move or lift things correctly is really important. So next time, stop, plan, and then lift safely. When moving up and down stairs, climbing in and out of mobile plant, or even walking across an uneven surface, always maintain 3 points of contact. We don't want you to fall and hurt yourself.
They say mental health is more than just mental ill health. So what is it? Think of mental health as a state of well-being where we can cope, work productively and contribute to our communities. Take physical health. Most of us think if we're not sick, then we're well. But as the continuum shows, health is a process, never a static state. And we move backwards and forwards along this continuum throughout our lives. Like when we start off at a gym, get more sleep or eat healthy foods, our health will improve. But if we catch the flu, party too hard or eat the wrong things, our health worsens and we slide towards unwell. The point is, physical health isn't a static state. We're always moving backwards and forwards along the continuum. It's the same with mental health. You can see here a few stages along the mental health continuum. We may fit into one or across several, but it's good to be aware of the indicators that we might be having a tough time. Certain things can help improve our mental health, like talking to friends, doing things we love, and getting some exercise. But we can also be affected by stress at work, conflicts, and those life events we choose, like organising a holiday or starting a new job. And if we slide closer to unwell, remember it's okay to not be okay. But the longer we sit there, the more at risk we are of becoming very unwell. There are things we can do to get back on track. We can talk to a friend, see a GP, or call the New South Wales Mental Health Line for advice. With help, our mental health will start to improve and we'll move back towards well again. And while we're always going to be moving backwards and forwards, we can take steps to keep ourselves mentally well, and this will mean we're better able to cope when things go wrong. So, take a break, keep active, set goals, and don't forget to keep in touch with your friends and family.
Everyone's mental health is important. If you need to speak to someone, we have confidential counsellors available to you in times of need. Please call the 1300 number on the screen. Just remember, you are not alone. When you're on site, you'll need to use different types of PPE or personal protective equipment. Some forms of PPE have to be worn at all times. Others are used for specific jobs or in certain areas. You are responsible for making sure your PPE is worn in accordance with site rules at all times, fit for purpose, and checked before you use it. Don't use damaged or defective PPE. You could be putting yourself at risk of injury or health problems. Let's get into the serious stuff. No, seriously, we don't ban certain things from our sites just for the sake of it. You need to know that some items are prohibited or restricted on Boral sites. Prohibited items are just that, prohibited. Restricted items need special approval. Some people think housekeeping is a waste of time, but if you spend a few seconds picking up after yourself, you could keep someone from slipping or tripping over. Housekeeping is everyone's job. Every trade, every worker, every supervisor, and every manager. We take following rules seriously here at Boral. Things can go wrong quickly, where there are moving vehicles and heavy machinery. Make sure you understand the rules and procedures for the site you're working at. These are in place to ensure your safety. If you don't follow the rules and procedures, your work will be stopped or cancelled. Positive communication is all about making sure you receive a response from the person you are trying to communicate with. Don't approach until they have acknowledged you. Don't let rushing or complacency ruin your day. Pedestrians are smaller and harder to see. Remember, be visible, stay alert, and stay on the designated walkways. Don't let rushing or complacency put you in the line of fire. If you consign, pack, load, or receive goods as a part of your work on a Boral site, you need to follow a few rules. These are covered in the chain of responsibility. If you're not sure about the rules, or if they apply to you, talk with your Boral site supervisor. When working on a Boral site, you need to let your Boral site supervisor know straight away if you notice anything that might harm the environment. This is a legal requirement. It could include things like water pollution, soil contamination, too much dust, or even hydraulic spills. The sooner we can identify, contain, and clean up the problem, the less impact we'll have on the environment. A number of our quarry sites use explosives as a part of their production process. Comms will be provided to notify all workers of the day and time blasting will take place. Please obey all blasting signs. Hazardous chemicals and substances can pose a risk to everyone's health and safety if not managed correctly. So follow the safe handling and storage guidelines listed in that chemical safety data sheet. Here at Boral, we strive for zero harm. We don't want you injured at work. A safe working procedure is a documented process that identifies risk and hazards. You are responsible to use controls to eliminate or reduce these risks. You must follow your approved safe work method during the course of your work. When in doubt, stop and contact your supervisor. These subjects here make up Boral's safe systems of work. Explore each one in any order you like to find out more information about that subject. Oh, and just a heads up, you must complete each tile before you can complete the rest of the course. Safety is everyone's responsibility, and at Boral, we strive for safe production. That means keeping safety in the forefront of your mind before, during, and when completing your work. Controlling work safely reduces your risk of injury to yourself and others. Understand the risks of your work by completing your safe work method statement and getting this approved by the Boral site supervisor. Click each of the labels at the top of the screen to learn the difference between a hazard and an incident. Once that's done, we will take a look at hazard and incident reporting, why it's so important, and the role you will play. Take 5 is a short 5-minute risk assessment. It's used to look for hazards, risks, or even changes to the work area. That 5 minutes could be the difference between doing your work safely or putting yourself in the line of fire. Stop, take 5, work safely. Permits are used on site to manage high-risk work. If you perform high-risk work, you will need a permit. Your Boral site supervisor must approve your permit before you get stuck in. Unexpected startup of equipment could cause serious harm to workers. So, before starting work, identify what needs to be isolated and use correct isolation and verification methods for any potential energy source. Fit for purpose tools are just that, fit for purpose. When you bring tools to work, such as electrical or lifting equipment, it needs to be suitable, tested, and tagged. All electrical work will only take place by qualified electricians. All installations or repairs will require a certificate of compliance. Heaven forbid, and if by some freak of nature you or one of your workmates receives an electrical shock, you need to report it immediately and follow the on-site safety protocols. If you're doing any of the designated high-risk tasks shown here, you must first understand Boral's requirements and safety procedures for that task. Make sure you talk with your Boral site supervisor before you get started on any of these. As a part of Boral's drive towards zero harm, we want you to follow our safety absolutes. These are rules designed to prevent serious harm. These are absolute and non-negotiable and must be followed at all times. After reading each of the 5 signs, you will then be asked to confirm your commitment to following these rules while working at Boral. If you are present as an incident occurs, you must raise the alarm and notify the site manager ASAP. Ensure you are familiar with the emergency response procedure at the site you are attending. Leaving work in a healthy state is Boral's main priority. So while you're here, keep your mind on task and work safely. This will keep others safe too, so we can all return home happy, safe and sound. Congratulations! You made it! Here's a quick recap. Report to the office or reception area on your first day and sign the visitor's book. From there, they will give you further instructions to get you started. Don't forget to bring your licenses and any qualifications with you. And remember, if you have any doubts about the information in this course or you're not quite sure, please speak with your Boral site supervisor.